For over 3 decades, WAFB has been your home for the most comprehensive coverage of high school football. Tonight, we highlight 9 finalists and crown one as the 2024 Sportsline Player of the Year. This 9 Sports special is sponsored by the Baton Rouge Clinic.
Hello everyone and welcome to the 2024 WAFB High School Football Player of the Year. We will showcase 9 finalists and then present this year's winner of the prestigious award. Finalists must be a senior, an outstanding player on the field, and a great young man off it. We will move in alphabetical order, so without further ado, let's begin at Catholic High. Here's WAFB's Kevin Baptiste with a look at the very talented Jacob Bradford.
Jacob Bradford's role wasn't always to prevent touchdowns. At one point, his job was to score touchdowns. But once he got to high school, backpedaling and shifting his hips became his forte.
Once I got here, it's the first time playing corner. I played receiver. I was an offensive player like my whole life. But I kind of like the competition and like the adversity of just playing corner to start with, because you already had a deficit just playing that position.
The 6', 190-pound defensive back became a key figure in the Catholic High defense, and at times taking on the role of guarding the opponent's top receiving threat.
When I am man on just one person, I know myself that I have to do my job because I have to do this for my team. So it's like I have this duty to guard this man this one play. So let me do it to the best of my ability and just compete. And if I lose, get back up, do it again.
Every day he was a guy that was coming to work and give his best, and when things were competitive, he was at his best. I think of the times in games through his career where he was matched up on really high-level competition. That's really when you saw him at his best.
One of Bradford's biggest challenges came in his junior season against Zachary. Guarding eventual LSU tight end Trayvon Green, Green got one battle, but it was Bradford who won the game.
Just trusting in your abilities and stuff, knowing he's also good, so he may make plays, but knowing you're also not so bad yourself, so you just try to make plays too. And then at the end of the day, as y'all probably seen, it came down to the end. I made the play when it really mattered.
His most dominant trait is he can jump. He's a 38, 40-inch vertical guy consistently, and has great ball skills, just a great all-around natural athlete.
This is a little hidden talent, I would say, probably the best.
What would you say your vertical is?
I think last time we measured it was a 42.6.
Bradford models his game after a couple of NFL All-Pro cornerbacks. One of them is a former Baton Rouge area star.
I always just watch Jalen Ramsey and stuff. I always liked them. I like Derek Stingley the past couple years, just from when he left LSU and then went to the league.
You a trash talker like Jalen Ramsey?
Yeah, Coach Fuller gets on me a couple times for talking a little smack, so I had to calm down, but yeah, I talk a little bit.
And like Derek Stingley Jr., Bradford will play college football at LSU, something that he has always strived to achieve.
It really speaks for itself, the excitement that I'm going somewhere in my hometown that every little kid would dream to go, and it's just I don't know, it's just a wonderful feeling. It's hard to explain.
He's the kind of guy that his teammates always gravitated towards him because of just the way he treated people, his integrity, and the respect he showed everybody the entire time he was here.
Our next finalist hails from Donaldsonville. He's an explosive playmaker who has lived on Sportsline Friday night. Once again, here's Kevin Baptiste on Chad Elsey.
His peers call him Poppy, and for good reason. When Ascension Catholic's Chad Elsey Jr. stepped onto the football field, the defenders were his sons. Just ask the Opelousas Catholic defense of 2 years ago. The running back had his biggest showing, rushing for 461 yards and scoring 9 touchdowns in the playoff win. That was all part of a 3,400 all-purpose yard season. Impressive, but going into Elsey's senior year, new head coach Lowell Narcisse challenged his star player in another way.
We basically worked on a little thing. He wanted me to get to do the little things right and everything will fall in order.
I think so many times we get caught up in right, and I always tell those guys, right, focus on the little thing, like the big things take care of themselves. You know, everybody we played this year knew that, you know, we had Chad Ellison, right, and so their main priority was to come in and stop that guy. And so I was telling, man, kind of let the plays come to you, right? They're gonna happen when they need to happen, and you know, and he was still able to have a more than successful season.
LZ did pay more attention to the little things, but the big plays kept going. A lot of them were made before halftime, which led to big leads and LZ's night being done.
The main thing is my teammates helped me out, especially my offensive line, for me to be able to score. But it was great seeing my other teammates get to play besides me.
There is a way to win. There is a way to do it the right way. And so now it's like I want to support those JV guys and the younger guys that don't get as much practice. But those guys got me ready for this opportunity. And so just get them to understand the importance of supporting my teammates, because you know those guys, your biggest supporters when you're out there doing your thing.
LZ's best performance of his senior year came in the quarterfinals against Riverside. When the Bulldogs needed their star player the most with the season on the line, he answered the call.
We went into it and I put up all my eggs into a basket and say, hey, we're gonna lose. We lose our best player with the ball in our best player's hands. And he showed up and answered the bell. You know, 18 carries for 350 and 6 touchdowns.
I knew they wanted us because we beat them my sophomore year, so I just had to do whatever it took to win.
You had like a favorite run of that game?
I was in a Wildcat, and then I broke a long run.
A lot of times, guys don't step up to the challenge, knowing that, hey, everybody know that they're gonna try to stop this guy, but yet he took the challenge and was able to go out there and make the play and basically win the game for us.
For his career at Ascension Catholic, LZ racked up just over 6,800 all-purpose yards and 101 touchdowns. He's a two-time All-State running back and a Class 1A offensive MVP. LZ now moves on to his next chapter at Kentucky State. It was not his original plan, but it's an opportunity that LZ is grateful for.
Ever since I came up, I always wanted an opportunity to go to college and play ball, so it felt like a check off the list.
Not too many guys get the opportunity to go play at the next level, you know, and so he's had a phenomenal career.
Everything happens for a reason. I pray a lot, so I feel like God put me in the right position.
We now move on to New Roads, Louisiana, for one of the more versatile players you'll see anywhere. A jewel of a talent from Catholic Point Capee. Parker Jewell is the guy you can put just about anywhere and he'll do just about anything. At Catholic of Point Capee, Jewell fiercely taking on all three phases of the game: offense, defense, and special teams.
He was our leading rusher, led the team in all-purpose yards, led the team in touchdowns, blocked punts. He was our second leading tackler, tied for the team lead in interceptions. So he did everything.
Exhausting. It's exhausting, you know. Start out, first quarter, you know, you're going good, and then second quarter, you catch a second wind, and after that, it's just, you got to ride the second wind out, and it's awesome. You know, I don't want to come off the field. Nobody here does, and we take pride in that. Dream
player, you know, doesn't necessarily have the size of a lot of other guys, but he's extremely smart. He works hard, and a great leader. You know, he does everything that's asked of him, and very instinctive. You know, the way he's able to diagnose plays and just react on the fly and make adjustments for us out there on the field is like having another coach out there. So you know, he's really been a blessing to coach.
Jewell practically allergic to standing on the sideline, typically playing 120 to 130 snaps per game.
He laid it all out there for his team, regardless of what injury he was dealing with, how tired he was. He was dragging, he was cramping, he was about ready to pass out, but he wasn't coming off the field.
You got to be able to play from the first snap to the last snap with 100% effort, and that's not going to happen in week one. You got to prepare for it during the summer months, because that's when the success is made.
He took that seriously. I mean, he was first one here, last one out the door all off season, working hard, never missed a day.
It was a magical fall for Jewell and the Hornets in New Roads, jumping out to a 9-0 start and winning the district title.
It was a perfect example of what this team was all about. Great friends with all the guys on the team. We're a very close-knit, small group. Worked extremely hard. Was a no excuse kind of mentality on the team. Something went wrong, and something was always going to go wrong. I mean, it's football, but it's not. There wasn't finger pointing and looking around for somebody to blame or looking for somebody else to step up. We weren't going to make excuses. We were going to find a way to get the job done. That's what he did, and that's what the team did.
27 kids, and most of the time we're going out to practice with 18 or 19 guys. We did the most of what we had, you know, going out there every Friday night, not making excuses for the amount of kids we had, just playing our hardest and winning football games.
Jewel doesn't have any plans to play college football at this point, but the young man raised on a farm and who was always early to rise has all the tools to be a success in life moving forward.
Everybody loves to be around him. You know, he's always laughing, having a good time with his friends. A team first guy, and he really puts all of his friends in front of him. You know, he loves to see them do well.
I like to hunt, fish, play football and baseball, and farm cows.
And going to go on to do great things, you know, whatever he does.
All right, you've met our first 3 finalists for the WAFB High School Football Player of the Year. 6 more to go. Stay right there.
Love is in those first precious moments of life, embracing those first magical steps, watching your children grow and thrive. In every stage of life, we will be here for you every step of the way. From our board-certified pediatricians to expanded access 7 days a week, there's a lot to love. Baton Rouge Clinic, caring for generations.
Only one of our finalists this year is a quarterback, and he hails from Madison Prep. Kevin Baptiste, he remains busy early in our program, showcasing Tylen Johnson.
As a sophomore, Tylen Johnson took over as Madison Prep starting quarterback. Becoming QB1 is already a daunting task, but it's more pressure when your predecessor is Zion Chris, a person who was an all-state performer, a district MVP, and a state championship MVP. But Johnson never blinked at the challenge.
Zion taught me how to make it happen. Like, he told me that sometimes at quarterback you just gotta go win. However you gotta do it. Don't worry about the feelings that come with it. You know, everybody gonna want the ball. That just come with the game. But at the end of the day, it's all about winning and telling your team, you know, you just gotta trust me. I'm gonna get it done for us.
I had a lot on his shoulders coming in, trying to replace Zion Chris. I'm like, you're not gonna just replace Zion Chris. Be who you are. Be who you need you to be for us.
In a Week 7 game at U-High in the 2022 season, Johnson had what he felt was his coming out party at the prep level. 332 yards passing, 4 touchdowns, and a last-minute drive that set up the game-winning field goal.
And that right there showed me that I'm still, you know, that guy that I was in youth football. So I just got to keep building off this year.
Going into his senior season, Johnson felt he had it all together for a stellar final year, and it ended up being that way. Nearly 3,000 yards total and 30 touchdowns passing, with another 10 touchdowns rushing.
I like to say I'm a pocket passer with a little magic to him. So I could throw the ball from the pocket at any angle with my arm, because, you know, I just got that natural baseball ability. I can read from the pocket pretty well. I don't feel pressure, so I can take a lick. If need be, I can turn into a running back, like my pops say. If you're gonna run, turn into a running back. That's why I rarely slide. You know, Coach Landry got on me about that.
I'm like, get down, you know, like get down, like we don't really have any depth behind you. So get what you can and get down, but just a football player, the instinct is to finish the play. So he'll hardly ever slide. He'll stay up and take on 2 or 3 extra guys, which would stress me out.
Some of the quarterback's most memorable plays from this past year came against their biggest rivals.
Southern Lab, that's always gonna be a favorite moment, playing at AW. Scoring and stiff warming somebody into the ground, that was my favorite moment. I still post that picture to this day. U-High game in the rain, we had to win. That's what we used to think, we gotta win. My little brother told me, bro, you gotta win. If you lose, you suck. That's what he told me. 4th and 9, when I had scrambled to the left, Lamar juked another D lineman, ran back to the right, pump fake, got the first down. I don't even know what my celebration was. I was just in a moment, in that mindset of, man, I gotta get this.
Johnson will not only continue his football career at Lane College, the athlete will continue to be himself, a people person with a calm, cool demeanor.
Being who you are has gotten you this far, you know, and he had some tough trials, you know, in that process, but in that process he became a better young man. He's a real humble kid. trust me, he have rights to brag about all his accomplishments, but he just choose just to continue to work hard and lift up his other teammates.
Off the field, I don't think of myself no different than anybody else. You know, you'll catch me talking to a stranger if they stop me and talk to me. I feel like everybody got a word for you if you stop and listen. I read a Bible verse that say, work with your hands and live a quiet life. Ever since I read that, it's been my goal in life.
It's now time to check in with those Walker Wildcats. John Eads tells us the story of a special player with a unique number.
Consistent. You know, I think every game, you know, you could count on him to put the yards up, to get first downs, and feel like pop a big play at some point or multiple. So there was never a week where it was just, you know, couldn't get him going or whatever. He always was able to produce.
Caden Jones was a stat machine during his senior year at Walker High School, the running back amassing over 1,800 all-purpose yards with 23 touchdowns and serving as the catalyst for the Wildcats offense.
A lot of teams certainly keyed on him as one of our, you know, our main weapons we're going to try and get the ball to, and he still was able to, you know, find a way to make yardage and make big plays for us. So, you know, having a guy that has that special playmaking ability can make the coaches look good a lot of times. You know, it'd be bottled up, doesn't look like anything's there, and some of his more impressive runs on the season might have been 3 yards, but it, you know, for a normal back, it might have been a -4 play. He made it a 3-yard gain, and that was some of his best running that he did this year.
Jones, an impact player on two of the best teams Walker High has ever seen, the Wildcats winning a school record 10 games and reaching the state quarterfinals in his junior year, followed by an 8-win campaign and second-round appearance in his senior year.
It feels great to be a part of it. You know, it'll go down in Walker history. You know, I'll be able to tell my kids about it. My kids will be able to tell their kids about it. And hopefully I get in the Walker Hall of Fame one day, and I'll be able to reflect on all of this.
Jones, a little bit of a late bloomer in the football scene. He grew up with dreams of playing the sport, but his mom, Tab, like many others, concerned about the potential for serious injury, deciding to keep him off the field until he was fully ready.
He was 3, and he was playing Little League, and somebody came across and hit him so hard, and he laid there for a while, and it scared me so bad, and I told my husband, nope, that's it, no more. And then he made it again, 7th grade, and he came out after the jamboree, I think, and he was like breathing hard and stuff, and I'm like, oh no, you're done, it's too hot out here. So he begged me for years, and I said no, and then I told him that when you get to 9th grade, you could play. Man, 9th grade came fast. So when he asked, I was like, my husband was like, well, you did tell him 9th grade. So I went ahead and let him play. And I'm glad I did because it's in his heart, so.
Jones continuing his football career just down the road, 30 miles east across I-12 in Hammond, America, where he'll play running back for Southeastern.
They're just getting a good guy, and football-wise, they're getting a playmaker. You know, they're getting an athlete that they could put anywhere, no matter if I'm on special teams, offense. They might even throw me out on defense one day, you know, and I'll just show what I could do.
You know, having been around him and seen him, you know, I feel very confident in knowing that he's going to give everything he's got, and it's really important to him. And I think guys like that have talent to match are going to always succeed.
And yes, in case you're wondering, Jones does plan to change his number in college.
My favorite 94 that I can remember, yes, absolutely.
I feel like you put 94 in the back.
Oh, yes, sir, I definitely did.
You're not going to wear that.
Oh, no, sir. No, sir. No, sir.
What do you want?
I would like number 7, but I'm cool with any number. I wore 94, so any number really works.
Well, what a year for the Central Wildcats. Our next finalist is a defensive all-star that led the Wildcats to championship glory. John Eads is back for a look at KD Mays.
Player, playmaker, trustworthy, tough, always around the football. If he says he's going to do it, he's going to get it done.
Off the field, Kadavius Mays is a happy-go-lucky, comforting presence in the Central community.
You walk around this campus and KD Mays is one of the guys that just puts a smile on your face. And I always say he's got $1 million smile, you know, he's just got a heart of gold. Inside of these hallways is just somebody that, you know, is a consummate gentleman, somebody that, you know, everybody looks up to because of the way they carry themselves and the way they treat people.
But when the helmet and pads go on, Kadavius transforms into KD.
violence that he finishes with. His closing speed is something that's really impressive. His ability to get ball carriers on the ground is second to none.
Physical and dominant. I'm just dominant whoever in front of me at the time. Whoever in front of me, I'm just gonna dominate. I just love playing the sport, and I know what it takes to tackle somebody and to make them not want to run the ball or catch the ball again.
You may argue that Mays lacks that prototypical linebacker size, but that didn't prevent him from producing at an elite level. 32.5 tackles for loss, a dozen sacks, and toughness that covers him like a bulletproof vest.
All in, all the time, straight throwback football player that was going to get it done or die trying. Our defensive coordinator, Coach Camp, I mean, he's just constantly coming to me like, dude, you don't believe the things that this kid is doing. Like, he shouldn't be able to do this.
The size really don't matter. It's really, how can you dominate your opponent? See their weakness and to attack their weakness, really.
Fought through so many injuries and they just never slowed him down, never took him off the field. And he was a guy that you never had to be worried about whether or not he was going to be on when it was go time.
The Mays family actually originally from the North Louisiana area, and funny enough, Central's path to the state championship game included 4 different matchups against teams from District 2, 5A.
Never against specifically. I was sick the day before, and I didn't think I was going to be able to play.
That didn't stop the senior from making the biggest play of the night. A blocked field goal late in the fourth quarter that was scooped and scored. The game-winning touchdown that sent Central to the state title.
December 14th, 3:30, beat up. They said what they want, they got what they want.
From there, the Wildcats dominated Ruston from start to finish 42-0 and hoisted their first state championship trophy since 1966.
In my junior year, we played Neville. They made it all about me and my brother leaving our hometown. And then the following year, we would beat every team in my hometown. So it felt great.
4 North Louisiana opponents in the playoffs, 4 wins, and a legacy that won't soon be forgotten.
KD will be remembered as a playmaker, but I'll remember him as just a guy that came in here and knew how to do it the right way in terms of just putting on his hard hat, working his butt off, loving on his teammates, and playing with a high passion and a high motor that made him a hell of a player for us.
I wanted to win the championship. I did it. I mean, I wanted to be somebody my team could depend on. I did that. So, I mean, it feels great to know I did everything I could at high school on the football level.
We have 3 more finalists to meet before the presentation of this year's 2024 WAFB High School Football Player of the Year. That's coming up after this. Jock Talk brings you face-to-face with South Louisiana's biggest names in sports. We deep dive into the unforgettable moments and untold stories of your favorite coaches, athletes, and celebrities. New episodes of Jock Talk every week on WAFB.com and YouTube. The Plaquemine Green Devils have had some electric playmakers over the years. You can go all the way back to Brian Mitchell in the 1980s, but our next finalist, in many ways, stands on his own. Tyrese Mosby might not be the biggest guy in stature, but he's the producer of some giant statistics. Defenders having a green devil of a time trying to tackle him as the Plaquemine star racked up nearly 2,700 yards from scrimmage and 40 touchdowns.
I actually went back to check the numbers. From my recollection back all the way to 2004, he's the record holder for most yards.
It could have been more. That's all I think. It could have been more. So I'm really not amazed by it. It's just to think that I'm the first one to even go that high. It's just, I never thought I'd be in this predicament.
Mosby had already established himself as an outstanding player in the area before this season, but the work he put in during the offseason and through the summer made him elite in 2024.
I worked on being more agile and also being able to take a bigger load because I felt last year we could give him the ball a little more without him wearing down and getting tired. We'll have bigger success. So his games this year was the fourth quarter and we're giving it to him 10 more times, but he's looking just like he looked in the first quarter.
But during my junior season, I had a lot of back problems, a lot of knick-knack stuff. So the summer, it was just like, gotta work to get past that. So I just did a lot of treatment on my body, got everything right. So the season came, everything fell into place.
Man, it was time when teams were slanting to him and they had everybody there, but he would make one guy miss and outrun the rest. So it's just good when you have a guy like that that can beat people one-on-one.
Mosby's individual performances certainly translated into team success as Plaquemine reached the state semifinals for the first time in a decade. Even in that semifinal loss to Cecilia, he rushed for 185 yards and 3 scores.
To think we was that close to going to state, I mean, it hurt worse than going out first round, but everything happens for a reason, so I mean, you can't be mad at it.
Because of his size, Mosby is perhaps flying under the radar, but now he'll gladly take his next opportunity at Louisiana Christian in Pineville.
They're going to be, I feel, they're going to be disappointed that they didn't take the shot because I played at the collegiate level. I watched a lot of football. He's a football player. His body's going to keep developing. He's going to get faster. He's going to get stronger, and eventually the playing field will even out. Great kid. Met him when he was in the 8th grade. Always been just one of the exemplified kids that you kind of want to model your program after. Has a playful side to him. All business on the field. Student of the year before. 3.2 GPA, 20 on his ACT. Just an all-around great kid.
The importance of school. It hurt me more knowing that I know someone that's very close to me that should have went D1, but he's going D3 because of his grades in school. New beginners. Never know what's going to happen. Just plan on going up there and ball.
A guy like that only comes around, every blue moon. Gonna miss him a lot.
I mean, it was always fun playing for Plaquemine. I'm gonna miss it, but it was fun. It was amazing. Can't really put it in words. It was just, you gotta be there.
It's been quite a comeback at Estruma High School, and as John Eads explains, this workhorse finalist carried the Indians night after night.
He has an aura, he has moxie. Those things are what make him so significant wherever he is. He has the it factor. He's not the biggest, but he has a mindset that he's better than everybody.
Some special talents have roamed the hallways of Estruma High School throughout the years. Heisman Trophy winner Billy Cannon and Texas A&M running back Le'Veon Moss, just to name a few. And Kyrie Paul is another that's built the foundation for a strong reputation.
He has a work ethic like nobody else. He's very commanding. So when he says something, when he makes a demand, it's gonna happen. Kyrie has what I call a light switch. So he'll go into that mode. When he looked to the sideline and he gave you this, it meant feed him. It was a look in his eyes. When he gave me that signal, us as a coaching staff, that signal, that meant, hey, give me the ball.
Paul posting some monster numbers to close his prep career, running for over 1,500 yards while averaging more than 13 per carry and scoring 28 touchdowns. A big contributor to Estruma's first state quarterfinal team in 20 years.
I feel good about it. It just was amazing to me. Playing in it, that cold, it was kind of bad, but I was just happy to be there, for real. I remember that for sure, because that was my first time ever, going that far. I had never been that far, especially just my second year playing, so yeah.
Paul always considered himself a basketball player growing up, but after constant prodding from the football staff here at Estruma High, he finally gave in and decided to lace up the cleats. And let's just say that decision worked out quite well for him.
Till my 10th grade year, I played strictly basketball, no football. I was in 8th grade playing high school here. Never played football, I just was strictly basketball. Thought I was too little, so I was like, I'm not going out there. I ain't going out there, that's what I thought. On the basketball court, they told me I was dominant, I was just a little bit stronger than everybody, faster than everybody. They was like, man, you sure you don't want to play football? I'm like, nah. He was like, why? I'm like, I don't think I'm big enough. He was like, man, that don't matter. He's like, you know what, I'm gonna give it a try. Went out there, man, it was just easy. I was like, no way is this easy, bro.
Paul's decision to play high school football has opened the door to his next chapter, a scholarship opportunity at Southeastern.
He's gonna be a big fish in whatever pond, lake, ocean he's in. I think that's what stands out about him to me.
I just want to be the best I can be. That's all I want to do. I want them to see a good man in me. That's really it. Football gonna come with it. I'm naturally good at football, so that's all I really want to come. Just becoming a better person, for real. Or especially around them coaches over there. That's really all I want them to see. because I'm a good football player regardless.
I really just want him to know that no matter what happens in life, in his life, as long as he wakes up and tries to do better than what yesterday was for him, life is gonna work out for him. He's a good kid, he has a great heart, and I'm looking forward to seeing how his journey plays out.
Time now for our final and physically biggest finalist, BTM, Beef That Moves. It's Irvin Smith from Catholic High. Every productive offensive play begins with an O-line doing their best to establish the line of scrimmage. And for the Catholic High Bears, that group is led by Big Irvin Smith.
Irv was a 3-year starter here at Catholic High. And when it comes to offensive linemen, one of the most athletic offensive linemen that I've ever been around. Really strong and powerful, but just him as an athlete in general, for the size that he has, incredible movement. And just always somebody that was a fierce competitor, a great leader, and somebody that led by example, and somebody that was just always really respected by his peers, and just a great body of work here at Catholic as a starter for 3 years.
I couldn't think of any other high school to go to other than Catholic High. I just have a lot of fun with it, Most people, they play serious, but me, I just making jokes a lot on the field, just knowing my technique, knowing what I'm gonna do, against an opponent, and just having fun with the sport.
Smith didn't have to look far for someone to emulate. Another Catholic High Bear, LSU Tiger, and future NFL offensive lineman, set a pretty good example.
Emory Jones, he kept me as a brother. I learned most of my moves from him. It was so fun.
It's been quite the career for Smith, highlighted by Catholic High's 2023 state championship.
Critical, I'd say first from just a leadership standpoint. He led by example. He led that group in terms of being competitive and really just a hard-nosed offensive line that we've had here. Just really a big part of his personality and the group taking on his personality.
I know I wasn't as old as most of all of the people that was on that team, but they treated me as a leader. They still looked up to me even though I was young. It was the beginning of me becoming a leader.
He was the kind of guy that when there was a pressure moment and a lot on the line, we wanted to be running behind him. He was just always going to be a dominant force, especially against great competition, and somebody that we really depended on in a lot of different ways.
Smith's talents go far beyond the football field. This guy knows a thing or two about music.
I used to play the viola. My dad taught me how to play the trumpet, and I know a little bit of piano and bass. But then once I got to Catholic, I gave the instruments up. I used to be in orchestra before I got here.
Smith will now move on to the collegiate level, ready to suit up for the Louisiana Tech Bulldogs in Ruston.
It's a great place. I can't wait to be out there next year. Coach Comby, he treats me like I'm one of his sons. It's just a lot of love out there. Everyone treat me well. I like it.
A high character, right? He's a part of our student ministry team here on campus. Really respected by everybody here at Catholic High, teachers and everybody that comes in contact with us, with him. And just a one-of-a-kind person that lights up a room. I think he'll have a great college career.
Coming up, the moment of truth. Who will win this beautiful trophy and be named the 2024 WAFB High School Football Player of the Year? We find out.
You know how far I've gone, now I'm home again. I'm feeling more alive these days than I've ever been.
At the Baton Rouge Clinic, our sole focus is to provide exceptional health care for your entire family so that you can get back to doing what you love most. We are caring for generations.
You give me
Welcome back, everyone, and we have a bit of a surprise here in the studio. The winner of this year's 2024 WAFB High School Football Player of the Year is KD Mays from Central High School, the Wildcats.
Congratulations, man.
Thank you.
Even a strong guy like you, this is kind of heavy. It's a big trophy for a big award. Congratulations.
Thank you.
Tell me about this year, a team that was predicated on defense. You have Coach Camp here who directs that defense, Coach Semino, your head coach, who's always believed in being gritty. Tell me about this team and this year.
Well, I felt we had a great team. I believed in him since week one to get us stops on defense, make the right calls. And I believed in him as a head coach to prepare us through the week. And he used to always study us about special teams and everything else. So what he said and what he meant, it meant a lot to us. And I told John East on week one, after the first game of the season, we was going to win the championship. And we did it all.
Quick shout out to John Eads, who you've seen on this show, did a great job covering the Wildcats this year. Playing with your brother here, another outstanding player in DK. What was that like for you?
It was good. It was great. I was able to tell him what to do on the field, actually. So, I mean, that's what made it even better. But I believed in him and the rest of the guys up front to do their job so my job could be easy.
How did you approach playing for the Wildcats? What was your attitude? What was your mentality when you took the field on Friday nights?
Well, I just know that my team depended on me to make the tackles on the second level. So that's really, my mentality really was just make sure nothing break out through the second level.
Now, as we're standing here, it's my understanding that you may be wearing the blue and gold at Southern University next year. Is that where you're leaning?
Yes, sir.
All right. Well, that's not far from where you're from. Your parents and your family can come watch you play.
Yes, sir.
So how do you what drew you to Southern?
Really, Coach Scott. Me and Coach Scott had a talk close to the beginning of the season, but he came back to Central after the season, talked to Coach Camp, and he gave me a call. And then I was talking to Jeremiah, the streamer linebacker, about it, and I liked him, and then Zimmer. So, I mean, I told him we'll go turn Southern up together.
All right. Anything else you want to add before we say goodnight here?
Thank you.
All right. Congratulations. Thank you. Awesome. How about a round of applause? There he is.
Are you surprised?
Not surprised? There you go. It's a tackle machine right here, and he'll be carrying that over to the Bluff with the Southern Jaguars. Thanks so much for watching tonight, our presentation of the 2024 WAFB High School Football Player of the Year. We'll see you later.
This 9Sports special was sponsored by the Baton Rouge Clinic. You're smart. Your TV is smart. That's why you cut the cord. Endless shows, non-stop movies, but you need one more thing.
Us, WAFB. Watch live or when it's convenient for you. Here's how.
Just search WAFB on Roku, Apple TV, Amazon Fire, or Android TV. Install and enjoy.
It's completely free. And has everything you need in one spot.
Live breaking news.
First alert weather.
New in-depth investigations.
And extended interviews. And sports and entertainment. Start streaming WAFB Plus today.